Whether you're looking for a really cozy couples camping situation, or if you're looking for a very solid solo kind of camper, this thing right here could get the job done for you. Welcome, everybody. My name is Josh the RV Nerd. This is Bish's RV down here at Jayco today, getting you some updated footage on the Jayfeather Air series right here. The Jayfeather Air series kind of happened last year, and it was sort of confusing to a lot of people because there was Jayfeather Air, Jayfeather Micro. They were the same but different, and they decided to simplify it this year. Now there's only Jayfeather Air, so there you go. Basically what they found is they were able to build the Jayfeather Air series a full 8-foot wide, somehow lighter weight and less cost than a Jayfeather Micro. So here we go. This floor plan has the shallowest of sofa slides, but it's crazy the sense of space that you get in such a small camper right here. And the counter space, the kitchen and the living space in this are, I try not to grandstand things, but they're shocking if from what you expect compared to the history of small campers out there in the RV industry. They've done a very, very good job here. Now, it is an east-west front bed. It is, I believe, a true queen bed, actually, not even some weird camper variation size thereof, but I believe it is a 60 by 80 true queen. And if you're like, man, I wish it had tandem axles, I wish it had a north-south bed, Jayco makes stuff like that. It's just a little bit longer and a little bit heavier and a chunk more expensive. This one comes in here under 5,000 pounds gross vehicle weight. I think the empty dry weight's around 3,900. So maybe some mid-sized tow package vehicles, some SUVs, some mid-sized trucks would be able to handle this thing. Now, obviously, the Ford freaking Ranger was built with limitless tow capacity and can handle anything, but you get the idea. Still have that 2-year Jayco warranty, still have the Asdel in the sidewalls, the enclosed underbelly. This thing has some pretty good ground clearance by default, but they now offer also the Baja package to lift it up a little bit further. And if you appreciate how we show you all the ins and the outs and the ups and the downs, hit that subscribe button and let's get started diving into the details. In case you're curious, I'm basically standing in front of the toilet to give you this footage. I think Cousin Garrett, the RV Nerd video editor, typically puts some kind of nerdo vision on there to give you your bearings. If that's helpful, let us know, because he spends a lot of extra time on little bonus elements like that. We want to make sure it's useful stuff for you. That is a smart TV. It can pivot and swing around. So if you want to, watch TV from up there on the bed with that cute little sun hat, look at that cute little thing, you can do so. This I think is interesting, like really smart locations on those household and USB outlets on the bottom left there. But under the bed, they kind of left this front corner open air, and it makes it perfect for like adding totes or, oops, I clicked the little sparker button on the stovetop knobs. Anyone who actually camps has, I guarantee, done that a time or two and knew that sound instantly and was probably flinching to get off of it. Blackout roller shades for all of our windows, and with the exception of the window in the entry door, every window opens for airflow. Oh, I should have mentioned it, but that is a 60 by 80 true queen bed. I went and grabbed my tape measure, double checked all that for you. Now, this is not a floor flush rack and pinion slide. This is a very, very shallow Schwintek slide. What that means is that you look at this and it looks like a full couch. But if you actually look kind of in between here, you see that white part? That's the actual bottom of the slide box. So you can't swap this sofa out for like a theater seat. That just needs to be a bigger, probably mostly tandem axle Jayfeather to be able to pull something like that off. They've also updated their decor a little bit this year, gone with a little bit of a gray tone throughout. And they have maintained the larger 10 cubic foot 12 volt compressor fridges. There's a lot of 8s slinking into the marketplace. This, I think, is actually also a really, really cool thing. Customers are always calling us after they buy an RV, and they peel all the stickers off the outlets, or our cleaning team sometimes does without realizing it's a problem. And they'll peel the stickers off that say, like, inverter prepped outlet. So Jayco has started printing that directly on the face plates of the outlets to make that easier. And that plan works as long as nobody takes the faceplate off the outlet and puts it where it doesn't belong. I guarantee you there's going to be some disgruntled employee at some place or some person walking through a dealership being like, watch this. Remember what that nerd guy said? I'm going to cause a whole bunch of ruckus. We are carpetless. The vents are coming out of the base of the cabinets there, but look at that toe kick so that you can truly belly right up to that countertop bar. And look at how much counter space you have. Even with all the little decorations that Jayco was kind enough to put out here, I mean, there's a lot of prep room in this little RV that we have right here. Now, working our way around a little bit, what do we want to talk about? This is a what do I want to say? 15,000 BTU air conditioner, I believe, in this little thing. Might be a 13.5. Crap. It's the end of the day. I am so tired. I am so sorry. Let me actually double check that while I pop open all the little storage spaces for you. All right, I'm glad I double checked because it could be either. By default, it's a 13,500 BTU, but if you live in screaming hot sun country, a 15,000 BTU air upgrade is available. So that's one of those things that you generally can't eyeball when you look at the RV in person. You got to make sure you get a copy of the build sheet. Frankly, any RV you're purchasing from any dealership, I really recommend getting a full copy of the MSRP sheet so that you can see all the equipment open up that's supposed to be on there. I don't have all those drawers fully extended, so I wanted to give you an idea of how much space actually is in there. This is also such a small but awesome thing. The 2-burner stovetop actually has an exhaust vent hood. In little single axle campers, that's crazy rare. Working around from here a little bit, the RV is not really level. It's kind of nosed down a little bit. So the freezer door and the fridge door wanted to leave themselves open. The fridge has a drawer that I guess allegedly you could put vegetables in there, but vegetables. And under the sink, it's so easy to miss, but so useful. Having a dedicated little slot there for a wastebasket, it's so super handy. Now, the sofa can fold down into a small sleeper. This floor plan doesn't offer like a dinette option swaption or anything like that. It's just a sofa model. If you prefer something like a dinette, we might be wanting to look at another floor plan that they offer. I also really appreciate how they're very consistent on this. You see how all of the cabinetry is defying gravity, and easier to access. Plus, being a full 8 foot wide leaves them just a little bit more space right there to include that hanging wardrobe storage and the double dresser drawers. That really is a cute hat, you know. Sorry, I got distracted. Again, I find myself from the position of standing in front of the toilet. One of the things about this floor plan, if you leave the bathroom door open, you can have a amazing staring contest. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking a lot of people can't pull off that look, but wow, it sure looks natural on you, Josh. To which I say, really? Now the toilet is, I mean, it's almost angled to the back against the shower. You see that it's just enough space. I will say it's like, it's a little tight on the legs if you're joining long legs like me, but overall, I got in that thing just fine. The RV does have a traditional 6.5 foot ceiling clearance. So what that means is that when I stand up here in the shower, my head's definitely in the skylight, no matter which hat I am wearing. And even back here in the bathroom, they offer all the same treatments like the, where you at? Oh, here we go. The blackout roller shades that we're looking at right there. I realize I was up way too close on those things for you to really be able to see and discern anything. And I'll tell you what, as long as I scoop my backside into the shower here and hit my head on that shower beam, you get to see the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey used to say. Although I'm finding out people are forgetting who Paul Harvey was. He taught us a lot of things when we were young. Great counter space in here. Like, get you a little closer so the light pollution doesn't wash out the sink. Sorry about that. Very deep counter. And this cabinet here, let me give you a reference point here, is deceptively deep. Like, it's not like that's crooked and sideways. It holds that thing pretty well. Now, here's the interesting thing. Because it's such a shallow slide, it has very little impact on the floor plan. Frankly, it makes me question, does this camper even need a slide out? I'm not convinced it necessarily does. The space this RV has is pretty awesome, but the space, even without the slide, is still pretty great. Let me actually get you spun around here. The little swivel stands, a lot of your Jayco stuff used to include those, and some still will. Like, this floor plan doesn't have a dedicated dining space, so it will include the little swivel stands, to give you some place to grab a bite to eat. But take a look at this. Even with the slide fully retracted, like, this doesn't suck, right? Would you be interested in purchasing an RV like this if it had no slide? It'd be lighter weight, it'd be less cost, a little less spacious, but I don't know. What say you? Now, I kind of talked about this when the video began, but what sort of vehicle are you going to need to handle this thing? I mean, obviously, most half ton's going to yank it right around, but I don't know that you necessarily need to go to that extent. I think that if you have some tow package mid-size pickups, will find this within their safe, comfortable capability. I'll say even then, the most capable mid-size pickup going through like Rocky Mountains or something, it'll get it done, but it's gonna work, and I don't know if you're gonna like it as much, certainly. A larger class SUV, also a very viable option here, because again, we're not super long, and we're only, was it 4,995 pounds GVW with about 1,100 pounds of available cargo. Now keep in mind, if you go adding the Baja package to this, which is like the raised up, quote unquote, off-road package, although it's still not ever going to be made to be a rock crawler, that will add some weight and reduce your cargo capacity by the equivalent amount. Power awning space for a small camper. I'm tripping over stuff behind me. What the heck was that? Okay, there's some stools behind me. Hold on. I'm going to give you a bit of a stool sample. There they are. All right, moving on from there. Power awning space, not too bad for a small camper like this. The entry door is also an anti-slam variety, which I appreciate. This does ride on a Norco Huck bolted chassis as well. It's more of a Z-frame. And this is interesting to me. This little, it's not a camp kitchen. It's just a little griddle that pops out, if you can imagine it, wherever they got the inspiration from this, if you can imagine it. Those who know right now. Anyway, but an outside hot cold shower right next to it. I've never seen a manufacturer do something like that on a little camper like this. It's actually kind of cool, because even if you're not using it to sort of like wash your hands when you're cooking or something like that, being able to rinse your feet off right before you go in the door, it's actually kind of nice. I also really like how they keep a factory standard ladder on the back of this. The telescopic removable ladders, I get it, they're neat, but there's no place to like store one on this RV. And frankly, a lot of RVs that rely on the roof prep bracket don't actually have a good place to store that removable ladder that you also have to pay additional money out of pocket for. So this J-Feather might be a couple bucks more than something else, but it's ready to go. And that's something that I appreciate. It is also prepped and ready for a receiver hitch on the back, which I'm still learning what all is in the Baja package. I think a receiver hitch down here is actually part of that Baja package, but the brackets are hanging down. So if you want to bolt on the receiver hitch, which you can actually kind of see with the other J-Feather Air right in front of us right there, it won't void factory stuff because you're not modifying it. You're just using what they provided. This is a tankless on-demand water heater. It is a single sewer outlet as well. Also has 4-corner stabilizer jacks, which I like to point out on single axle campers because you need that extra stability on these little things. Now you might notice it's a Schwintek slide. Some people get very nervous when I say that word. There's a rocky service history with the Schwintek slide system out there in the RV industry. The thing is, they're great when installed and used correctly. This is the proper way that those things should be used. Very shallow, very lightweight slides. That's how Schwinteks are supposed to run. They're not supposed to be on these 1,800-pound or whatever kitchen slides like some manufacturers use them for years. These are 8 foot wide. Remember the Feather Micro series that predates this was 7.5 wide. So it's basically standard body size. Oh, and before I forget, you do have 200 watts of solar up there on the rooftop. And I'm actually going to give you a little look. Hold on. And I wanted to showcase for you not so much like the air conditioner or the solar panel, but the execution of the sealants. The last couple J-Feathers I've gotten on, they've done a very good clean job of the work up here. I'm not seeing all the wavy ripples under the roof membrane like I had seen in the past. It seems like this factory team has really gotten it together. They're doing good work. And I don't know if it's come through the camera today. I am beat. This is like just one video to you. I think it's like 8 or 9 in a marathon day for me today. And first couple went a little bit slow. So Putting in some after hours effort to get you the footage here, although you can't tell because apparently we're in the NASA bunker recording this stuff today, but it is very kind of Jayco to pull these in and set these up for us. So maybe if nothing else, leave a little note that says, hey, thanks Jayco for the effort they put in today. As I always do, I'll drop you links in the video description if you want to double check pricing, availability, or similar floor plans from other builders. They all have their advantages and drawbacks, certainly. And if you appreciate how we shoot you straight like that, hit that subscribe button. We'll catch you the next time. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.